My name's Dixon White. We're here to talk about lifting air. We're going to look at the prerequisites to succeed in managing lifting air. We're going to look at the active piloting so you can handle the air successfully. We'll get involved with ridge lift, thermal flying, and wrap it all up with a wonderful cross-country flight. I believe if you're going to start using lifting air, that you first of all need to be fine-tuned traffic in lifting air. We need to be able to recognize in lifting air actively involved in what your glider is doing, helping your glider make its way through the ocean of air more appropriately. We call that active piloting. To refine this concept of active piloting, it is the ability to instinctively respond to a number of different levels of activity, both atmospherically and what's happening with your glider. When you decide to ridge soar, you're probably flying in fairly strong conditions. High wind launching skills are going to be crucial. You need to be fully capable of bringing that glider up in 12 to 15 mile an hour winds uneventfully. Traffic rules are important safety items. And actually flying a paraglider, we follow similar rules that we use in driving a vehicle. Thermal soaring is a pretty intense activity. I mean, you're dealing with huge volumes of air that have heated sufficiently to be able to rise through the atmosphere. Let's talk about the 270 rule. And let's also talk about how we enter thermals. It's not uncommon for someone who's a newer pilot to bump into a thermal and to roll off of it. Now, that's not probably the best thing to do because it's inefficient, but it also puts you on that edge of the thermal where there can be more turbulence. You're near the shear. But let's suppose you bump into a thermal and it pushes you away. You can go ahead and come on around 270 degrees and then fly straight for 2 or 3 seconds into the core. Find yourself in a nice core and make your circles. A more effective way of entering the thermal would be to bump into it. Let's suppose your right wing lifts a bit, and then to go right, to then push yourself into the thermal. Now you may make the circle too tight and fall back out of the thermal. Again, we use that 270 rule to follow the circle around, straighten out, and then fly deeper into the core for 2 or 3 seconds before making your circles. We see plenty of activity down below. Maybe you hear activity. You see it moving through trees, grass, and then ultimately filling in on the streamer. We got a maid. If it blows over the back, well, that could be a big thermal out in front just drafting air. Clear. Wah-ha! The turns are taking about 20 seconds or so for me to complete a full circle of the glider within this buoyant zone. I can tell I have a real slow beat into the wind right here. Good descent technique, sort of thing you want to practice over the water, so you have that down pat. Get good at asymmetric folds, that you understand how to use a little weight shift and countering brake in order to feet out of the seat.